All right, what is up, YouTube? We're back. We're making another video. As always, I just want to start off by saying that I hope you guys are having a blessed day. I hope that you guys are, you woke up today, that you were excited to take on the world. You were excited to get out there and spread some positivity, spread some love, spread some good vibes. And I hope that all is well with you guys. So you guys saw the title. You already know what we're going to be talking about today. Stoicism. We are going, and this is a very exciting video for me because this is something that a lot of my advice and a lot of the stuff that I like to talk about on this channel, a lot of the stuff that I like to discuss, a lot of the methods that I use in my life every single day are based on Stoicism. A lot of the stuff that I have learned so far in life that have helped me sort of overcome a lot of obstacles that I've had are rooted in Stoicism. So let's go ahead and get right into it, right? First things first, what the fuck are you talking about, Parker? What is Stoicism? I've never heard of this before. What is it? What are its benefits? Why should I use it, right? Sell me on Stoicism, right? So, all right. Stoicism is an ancient Greek philosophy, right? First things first. So this shit is like really old. It's like 2000-ish years old, this stuff, which is actually kind of mind-blowing, right? That somebody figured this stuff out, like these pieces of advice for life. Somebody figured this out like 2,000 years ago. His name was Epictetus, but we're not going to get into that. That's like the history of it. It's not super important. It's another topic for another day, right? But really, it's based on focusing on what is in your control, right? And that's something, again, that I talk about all the time on this channel. You have to use your resources, use your energy, use your mind. Your mind is a gift. Your mind is a tool. Use it to focus on things that are in your power, that are in your control, right? And what it does is it really helps. It helps you keep a forward movement mindset, right? Which is super important. We talked about that in my last video. It's not good to stagnate. It's very bad to stagnate. As humans, we are designed to keep moving forward, right? And Stoicism really helps me keep a forward moving mindset. It helps, it protects me from a lot of emotional distress, a lot of problems that a lot of people face in this world related to negative emotion, whether that be anger or sadness or jealousy, really all of those bad, any kind of negativity. It helps protect me from those things, right? And that's great. Who doesn't want protection from those kind of things? I don't know if you guys heard that. My mom just yelled that dinner's ready, so that's awesome. I'm definitely going to smash right after this video. I'm super excited. But anywho, and it helps me use my emotions correctly, right? Like I said, your mind is a tool. Your emotions are very useful. They help you survive. They help you, they guide you through life, right? They tell you what's good, what's bad. But that comes with, it comes with a lot of positive impact, and it comes with a lot of negative impact, right? And I'm somebody who's super emotional, personally, especially for guys, right? A lot of guys, they're not super in touch with their emotions, and they don't tend to usually feel emotion as strongly as maybe a female would, or me. In my case, I tend to feel emotion pretty strongly, and that's a great thing, right? Because I can experience happiness and I can experience joy and pleasure I can experience those things super intensely, and that's fantastic. That's great. But obviously, negative emotion, I feel that pretty strongly too. I feel sadness, I feel abandonment, I feel jealousy, anger, hatred. I feel those things very intensely as well, and obviously that's problematic, right? Because that leads to bad things. I don't need to explain that, right? It's pretty obvious. But yeah, Stoicism helps me to control that, and that's fantastic, right? So how does it work, right? You can sit here and you can talk up Stoicism all day, Parker, but you got to explain how you use it. How can you apply it? How can I apply it to my life, right? If you're intrigued, if you're excited to try this out, right? How do you do that? What does that look like? So really, your reality, the world that you live in, it's based on your opinion of what happens to you, right? Everybody knows that old saying, life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you react to it. And I believe that it might even be 100% how you react to what happens to you, because a humongous portion of your life is out of your control, right? Things are going to happen to you, especially bad shit. It's just going to happen to you all the time in life, and you can't do anything about that. But what you can control, something that you are completely in charge of, something that is completely in your power, is how you choose to think about the things that happen to you, right? And that is so powerful. Your reality is based on your perception. Your reality is not based on what happens to you. Your reality is based on what you think about what happens to you, right? So for an example of applying Stoicism into your life, let's say, and this is not my example, this came from the channel Philosophies for Life. I cannot remember the name of the video, but I will link the channel in the description. It's a freaking awesome channel. I love it. and they talk about Stoicism all the time. And this example came from their video, so this is not my example. Let's say that you wake up for work, right? And you're getting ready to go to work, you're getting ready to go to your job, and you walk out the house, you got your coffee, you got your briefcase, whatever, and you're headed to work, and you and your son, or maybe your little brother or whatever, anybody, they left their bike like in the sidewalk, right? So you're on the sidewalk and you don't see it for whatever reason, and you're getting ready to get in your car and you trip over the bike, and let's say you hurt your ankle and you spill your coffee, right? So immediately, you didn't really have any control over that happening, right? You didn't leave the bike there, and it's not your fault that you didn't see the bike. You know, this was an accident, right? So it's not anybody's fault. It's out of your control that you tripped over the bike, right? But nevertheless, you tripped over the bike, and there's nothing that you can do about that, right? So immediately you are faced with a decision, right? Do you get angry, and then it's really, really easy to just get angry. Your ankle hurts, you spilled your coffee, you're pissed off, right? And it's really easy to get angry and say something hateful to your son or your little brother, whoever this was in this fictional story. And you know, then you get in your car and you go to work and you're all pissed off, and maybe you say something, you backlash at your coworker or maybe even your boss. Let's say that you get fired. Like, this is just a real shit day. And your son or your little brother, now he probably had a really shit day because you said something hateful to him, which you didn't have to do, right? And it's just nothing but bad, right? Or you can choose to say, you know what, something bad has happened to me, and there's nothing that I can do about it. So I'm going to choose positivity, and I'm going to choose rationality, and I'm going to say, you know what, buddy, this was not cool. You know, this was an accident, but you got to make sure that you're not leaving your bike in the sidewalk. Next time, can you please make sure that you put it in the garage? And then you go have a great ass day, right? And everything is like 1,000 times better for you and for your kid or your little brother or whatever, because you chose to be the master of your emotions, because you chose to not let things that are out of your control affect you negatively, right? Another example, another practical example, let's say that you really, really like somebody, right? Let's say that I really, really like this girl, and I'm putting my all into it. I'm putting my effort out there. We're hanging out, whatever, and everything's going great, right? And it's just not working out. Maybe she said that maybe she's not treating you how you think you should be treated, or maybe she's not being transparent, yada yada yada, a billion different things, right? You can allow yourself to be overcome by that, and you can be sad about it, and you can think about it all the time, and you can be like, oh my God, this is so terrible, blah, blah, blah. Or you can realize that you were the best potential partner that you could be, right? You tried to do everything right, and you were kind, and you were compassionate, and you were forgiving, blah, blah, blah. And it just didn't work out. And that's on her, right? That's not on you. So you have to realize that instead of allowing yourself to be overcome with sadness or any kind of negative emotion or anger towards that person, instead just realize that you did what you could, and that's it. Like, that's all you can worry about, right? So be happy about that. And be happy about the fact that you did what you could, right? Don't allow other people's actions or other people's beliefs or other people's behaviors to negatively influence you, because then you're just a slave to your emotions, right? If you allow what people say to you or what happens to you or anything that's out of your control, and I talk about this all the time. I've talked about this in a previous video, but this is Stoicism. This is what it is. All of these beliefs, all of this stuff that I try to remind myself every day comes from Stoicism. If you allow those things to negatively impact you, to negatively influence you, it's pointless. It serves no purpose. It's pointless, because it's not going to help you progress. It's not going to help you be who you want to be. It's not going to help you have a better day or a better life. So you have to constantly remind yourself that, right? And that's something that I work on all the time. You're never going to get to the point where like you just can't feel negative emotion, right? And you're just ecstatic all the time and nothing bad ever makes you sad. Like, obviously that's a bit unrealistic, but once you start to practice this, and once you start to apply this in your life, you will see the massive positive impact that it can have. I see it in my life, and that's a part of the reason why I made this channel, so that I can share that with you guys, right? Because what's the point of figuring something out and improving your life if you can't help other people do that, right? That's a huge reason why I make these videos. I want you guys to employ this in your life. I want you guys to use your mind as a tool against bad shit, right? Because bad shit is never gonna go away. So use your emotions, use your ability to reason to help you, right? That's what Stoicism is all about. Use your mind, because it's powerful, right? So let's think about things the right way, and then the world around you will change, right? It won't actually change, which again, comes back to the point that life is not about what happens, it's about how you think about what happens, right? The world's not going to change just because your thought patterns change, but the way that you feel, the way that you think about the world around you, it's going to turn upside down once you start practicing this stuff. I promise you, it happened to me. And the amazing thing about this, the greatest part about this philosophy, about these thought patterns that you can adopt, is that once you start practicing them, so many problems that are related to emotional distress, so many problems that you can have in your life that are a result of negative emotion, they start to dissipate, right? They start to just kind of disintegrate. They start to vanish, right? You'll never be able to live a life without negative emotion, without being negatively impacted by your emotions, right? It's impossible. But you can start to diminish problems like anxiety about the future. I got a couple problems that I have written down here that used to impact me like big time, almost every single day in my life. And now there are things that have started to just slowly kind of dissipate. Because I'm meditating. Meditate. I tell you guys this all the time. If you're not meditating, start meditating. That is how you do it. That's how you change the way that you think, right? And since I've been trying to use these things like anxiety about the future, that's something that I used to be super impacted by. I was so worried about, oh, was I gonna make it? Was I gonna have a good job with a whole bunch of money and blah, blah, blah? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Worrying about your future, this doesn't mean you shouldn't plan about the future, right? We talked about this. I think I made a video about worrying about the future. This doesn't mean that you shouldn't plan things out and have goals, right? But worrying about things not going your way is pointless, because things are going to not go your way, right? There's nothing that you can do about that. You should go out there and you should obviously don't do what you can to avoid things going sour, but things will go sour, right? And when you think stoically, when you're using, yeah, give me a second. When you're using stoicism, that was my mom. Sorry, guys. But these things start to disappear, right? Worrying about criticism from other people. This is something that I've struggled with my entire life. I've definitely had a problem with worrying way too much about what other people think. And once I started practicing stoicism, once I started to realize that what other people think about me is pretty irrelevant when it comes to me doing what I want to do, achieving what I want to achieve, right? I shouldn't allow that to negatively impact me because it's out of my control. All I can control is what I think about myself. That's why it's super duper important to have a positive image of yourself. Believe that you're awesome, and then you'll do awesome shit. Watch. Trust me. This is real deal shit here. Fear of failure. That's another one that I talk about all the time. Failure is not your enemy unless you think it is your enemy. If you look at failure and you say, this is merely an opportunity to grow. This is merely an opportunity to learn so that I don't fail in this way again. If you start to think about it that way, that's a stoic way to think about failure, right? Then fear of failure starts to dissipate. Self-doubt. Self-doubt is another huge one that I dealt with my whole entire life. Oh, I'll never be able to do this because I'm too weak. I'll never be able to do this. I'm too stupid. I'll never be able to do this because blah, blah, blah. Get that shit out, man. Get it out. Stoicism doesn't believe in self-doubt, and neither should you, because it's not going to improve your life. It's not going to improve the life of the people around you. Remind yourself that every single day. Anytime you're feeling self-doubt, remind yourself that it serves no purpose, right? Don't allow these negative emotions to affect you. You have the power to stop that. It's in your mind. Tap into it, right? A lot of people, and it's sad, a lot of people don't tap into it. Tap into it. You have that power. It will change your life. Like the title says, using Stoicism to change your life, man. Stoicism changed mine massively, positively, and it's something that you can do, and I hope that you guys do that, right? So yeah, that's pretty much, that kind of sums it up, and if you guys are excited to try it out, if you found this video helpful, if it's something that you might want to share with some people, go ahead and do that. Drop me a like, man. I really appreciate it. It really helps the channel grow. Drop your comments if you guys are excited. If you got any questions, we can discuss this stuff as always. And go out there, spread some love, spread some positivity. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out, yo. Stoicism rules. Don't forget it.